Hi there, it's Lisa here on our Feast of Saints Peter and Paul. And our first reading is from the book of Acts, and it is a great story. In fact, it starts out in those days, which is a cue for once upon a time in Bible language, right? But it's not a fairy tale. It's what actually happened to Peter. Uh, so that he would be preserved to continue ministering, right? Um, but he, in the midst of this, had no clue. He thought he was seeing a vision because he was in prison, in jail. And so, as you read this about the angel leading him out, make those be very short and okay. So this sentence, he tapped Peter on the side and awakened him, saying, "Get up quickly." So it's like, get up quickly, because all these guards are not aware of what's going on. They're in some deep sleep or they don't catch on. And so Peter thinks he must be dreaming, right? The angel said to him, "Put on your belt and your sandals." So it's going to be a very like direct and quieting kind of voice that you're using. He did so. And then, "Put on your cloak and follow me." It's the direct instructions of somebody who is getting you out and you didn't know you were being rescued. So it was very fun reading to do. Actually, it's a story that you're telling. It is the story of Peter's rescue. So, a reading from the Acts of the Apostles, and we wait 1, 2, 3 seconds to separate the name of the book from the reading that's going to come. And then you wait again at the end, and suddenly the angel left him. 1, 2, 3. The word of the Lord. Nice and strong. Okay? All right. So, in those days, and then we pause, and if you were reading a story to kids or grandkids or children, you would make eye contact and lots of expression as you read that story to make it come alive. Don't be afraid to do that to the adults there in front of you. We still love a story, do we not? And if you were telling this story about, wait, you got to hear this, you guys, I was rescued, you got to believe it. You would tell this with great intensity and enthusiasm. And so give your listeners that same kind of story. Okay, so in those days, so as we say that, they're already going to get the clue that something very different is going to happen. King Herod, and I would pause there again, laid hands upon some members of the church to harm them. So I slowed that down so that the people can get an orientation as to what's going on. He had James, the brother of John. So we've heard about these two, the sons of thunder, James and John, James and John. So he had James, the brother of John, killed by the sword. I don't know if people are expecting to hear that, okay? And when he saw that this was pleasing to the Jews, he proceeded to arrest Peter also. It was the feast of unleavened bread. He had him taken into custody and put in prison under the guard of 4 squads of 4 soldiers each. Like, that's a lot of soldiers for one person. He intended to bring him before the people after Passover. Boy, isn't this like so many parallels to Jesus, right? Peter thus was being kept in prison, but prayer by the church. Oh, do you hear that change in my voice? That's what Herod was doing, but this is what the church was doing. But prayer by the church was fervently being made. Wow, fervently. Have you ever prayed fervently for somebody, for a change, for a cure, for a rescue? Fervently being made to God on his behalf. Then there's a pause. Back to the story. On the very night before Herod was to bring him to trial, Peter, secured by double chains, was sleeping between 2 soldiers. Like, how are you going to get to him, right? While outside the door Guards kept watch on the prison. Suddenly, the angel of the Lord stood by him. Yeah, you see my eye contact here? And a light shone in the cell. He tapped Peter on the side and awakened him, saying, "Get up quickly." The chains fell from his wrist. Like, wow, can you just do like this amazing thing? So my shoulders came back, was like, whoa, because I was intense telling the story. The chains fell from his wrists. The angel said to him, "Put on your belt and your sandals." He did so. Do you hear it? Do you hear how like this is just like happening in little chunks, and the soldiers are not awakening? Then he said to him, "Put on your cloak and follow me." So he followed him out, not realizing that what was happening through the angel was real. He thought he was seeing a vision. Okay? So like, gosh, guys, I thought I was dreaming. Okay? They passed the first guard, then the second. So we're going slowly because here's how he's getting out. And came to the iron gate. That's the iron gate of the prison leading out to the city, which opened for them by itself. Whoa, way cool. They emerged and made their way down an alley. So you can see it, right? Dark alley. And suddenly the angel left him. So that's the story of the rescue, where Peter went back to the people and who were praying for him, and it is an amazing reunion. But we don't get that part of the story here. We just get the rescue. And suddenly the angel left him. 1, 2, 3. The word of the Lord. All right. So practice reading aloud. Maybe even practice reading it to kids, right? So that you can kind of get your storytelling voice going and your excitement going. Because sometimes we tell adults with enthusiasm and excitement, but I don't often see people using that when they read scripture. They think they need to be very holy and profound. And no, there's different kinds of scriptures going on here. And this one is an amazing story. So let it fly. All right. God bless.